days in a row now where this offense looks real good. JT Realmuto coming up big in that 8th inning with the 2-run blast after an outstanding start from Christopher Sanchez once again. You know, he looks at it like, hey, we lost our ace. Now it's time for me to be the ace. We lost Wheeler. I'm going to step into Wheeler's shoes. He was outstanding tonight, 12 strikeouts. Look, Orion Kirkring came in, not his best night, even though he didn't get any help from the umpire. JT Realmuto saves the day. Bottom line, that was amazing to see. And JT Realmuto has been one of the best hitters, and not only in the league, not only on the team, but definitely in the league. It's been outstanding to watch this baseball team the past 2 nights. And last night I said, look, I'm not fully bought into this baseball team. You know, this baseball team doesn't turn me back on. You know, it hasn't turned me back on. So even tonight, they still haven't turned me back on. But, you know, when you're down, right, you're down. Your bullpen blows you the game. Now you're in a situation where, hey, somebody needs to step up. JT stepped up. And look, I'll tell you this. I have a stat here. And this is not the first time where JT has stepped up big time for this baseball team. So JT Realmuto is batting .364 in the 8th inning or later this season. So he's getting on base. He's doing what he has to do. He's putting this team in a good position consistently to win baseball games. He's been one of the best hitters in the league. So, yeah, I mean, I'm proud of what I've seen the past 2 nights. I just hope they can build on it. You know, I mean, remember, this baseball team's biggest problem is having leads and then blowing the leads. You know, they always have a lead. Then they blow the lead because of the bullpen. So, you know, and I get it. Orion Kirkring, for the most part of this year, has been very, very good. Let's not get it twisted. Orion Kirkring has been very good for the majority of the year. Tonight, he had 8 consecutive balls. I mean, that should have been called strikes. The umpire screwed him. So we'll get into all that. But if this baseball team, you know, when they have a lead and then they blow it, the bullpen comes in and blows it, which ultimately happens a lot with this baseball team, right? It happens a lot with this baseball team. It's good to know that maybe, just maybe, now they will be able to consistently be able to do things the right way. Be able to crawl back. Be able to fight back. I mean, I can't tell you the last time this baseball team, you know, the bullpen blows a lead, and then a guy like JT comes up big. You know, Harper gets that single, opposite field single. JT, and I'll tell you what, JT has been a very good cleanup hitter. And I think he's fitting into that role very nicely. I'll tell you that. But welcome on in, everybody, to Broad Street Sports, your home for the best Philly sports talk every single day and unfiltered. This is the Phillies post-game show. And tonight's show is proudly sponsored by Perfect Scoop in South Philly, the best ice cream in all of the city. Not only do they have ice cream, they have all types of sundaes, milkshakes, and also acai bowls. It is my go-to spot in South Philly. Perfect night. Nice night tonight. Following the Phillies game, head on over. The Perfect Scoop. Proudly sponsoring tonight's show and every show here on Broad Street Sports. That is the go-to spot. So if you go over there, tell them Broad Street Sports sent you. You do not want to miss it. It is the absolute best in not only South Philly, but the city. So make sure you go check them out. They're tonight's sponsor. So we'll get into this now. And I hear a lot of people on Twitter, and I'm seeing everybody going back and forth on Twitter. And that is the fact that, you know, they're upset that Rob took out Christopher Sanchez. That he took out Sanchez and then ultimately, obviously, put Orion Kirkring in the game, which everybody's saying that's a disaster. I don't think that's a disaster. You know, I don't understand why people are going after Rob for taking out Christopher Sanchez, for going 6 1/3, 96 pitches. He just walked the batter. I mean, imagine Rob left him in the game and then he walks another guy or gives up a home run. Everybody would have been firing around on Twitter saying, oh, Rob is a walking mummy. he's asleep at the wheel. Everybody would have been saying that. I mean, he put Orion Kirkring in, who for the majority of the year has been very, very good. I'm not upset about that. Orion Kirkring did not have his best stuff. And he definitely didn't get any help from that umpire. He got no help from that umpire. So I don't want to see people going after him on Twitter, going after Rob on Twitter for taking out Christopher Sanchez. 96 pitches, just walked the guy. In the bottom of the seventh, I mean, that's the spot where you actually do put him in. That is indeed a spot where you put Orion Kirkring in. It's just, I don't know. I just don't like that people are going to be upset about that. There's no reason to be upset about putting Orion Kirkring in a situation like that. That is where you put Kirkring in. It's frustrating to me that people are upset about that. He didn't look. Is it Rob's fault he didn't have his best stuff? No. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I just can't believe that there's people all tweaked out. It's a joke. It is such a joke. It is such a joke. But, of course, you guys want to call into the show, 215-839-8246. That's the number to get in. You want to talk about we can discuss the Rob Thompson managerial decision. We could talk about it. We could debate it if you think it was a good idea to take Christopher Sanchez out. I mean, look, you're at the point in the year where you have to kind of preserve arms, you know. So as much as it would have been cool to see Christopher Sanchez go a little bit longer, maybe try and escape that seventh inning, I don't really care. I care more about his long-term health now. You know, every pitcher now, I don't want to see all these guys going super long, stretching into 100 pitches. No matter if I think they can complete it or not, I don't want to see that. We saw what happened with Wheeler, even though it's not like his arm or his shoulder or whatever the case is. We just lost our ace. We can't afford to have any more pitchers getting hurt. We can't afford to have Taijuan Walker going in big-time situations. We can't afford to have to call up Andrew Painter from AAA, even though I think that he's a stiff, right? We can't afford to bring up Andrew Painter because we're stretching, Christopher Sanchez, Christopher Sanchez so long, or Nola, or Luzardo. So, that just tweaks me out that people are complaining that Rob took him out. I don't see it. I do not see it. So, of course, guys, this is the stat line for Christopher Sanchez tonight. Christopher Sanchez tonight goes 6 1/3. He gives up 6 hits, 2 runs, and of course 2 of them were earned. He has his 12 strikeouts, and he walked 2, and one of the walks happening in that top of the 7th there, where he gave up the walk, and then he ultimately got taken out. But let's talk a little bit about the 40-year-old David Robertson. David Robertson coming out of the pen, lights out. Lights out. So, look, I didn't know my boy David Robertson, the 40-year-old, had juice like that left. He was lights out, pumping that fastball. I had no idea he had that left in the tank. I'm hearing all these people saying that he has it. I was waiting until I saw it. We saw it tonight. If we could use David Robertson in situations like that, and he could bring electricity, he could bring confidence, he can bring fire the way that he did tonight, that would be outstanding. He's a great setup guy. If he could be used the right way and he can actually execute, close the door in the 8th, and then put us in a situation where we can bring Duran in the game, sign me up. But the way that David Robertson pitched tonight, I think we're going to have he's going to be a huge piece of this bullpen. David Robertson is. He's going to be a huge piece of the bullpen. God, lights out. Let's go over the David Robertson stat line for tonight as he goes, of course, that one inning there in the 8th. And then he has 2 strikeouts. And yeah, so he doesn't give up a hit, no runs, of course, and no walks. Strikes out 2. He's magnificent. He was magnificent. And that one was cool, too, because I get it. I trash this bullpen a lot. And Orion Kirkring was not great tonight. But David Robertson picked up the pieces in a way. David Robertson picked up the pieces. Look, too many times I've seen this bullpen go into situations where it's like, look, too many times I've seen this bullpen go into scenarios where one guy gives up the lead, and it's a tie game. Then the next bullpen arm comes in the next inning and completely pisses himself too, right? He completely pisses himself. And then there's no opportunity to really come back. I've seen that too many times with this baseball team. I've seen it too many times where Matt Strom or an Orion Kirkring, like tonight, give up a lead, don't have their best stuff. They give up a lead, and next guy comes in, pisses themselves. Romano, right? They don't have the best stuff. But if you're able to get the best that you can out of David Robertson, that's huge. That is huge for this baseball team. Because remember, now you got Alvarado coming back, Alvarado's back. So they're going to completely overuse him because it doesn't mean anything. He's not pitching in the postseason. They're going to absolutely overuse his arm. But that's good. That saves a lot of these arms. That saves, Robertson. That saves Duran. That saves, Strom, who you're going to have to use in the postseason. That's going to save Kirkring. So, I don't know. Again, I'm not bought back into this baseball team. This baseball team is not turning me back on. Let's not say that, folks. They're not turning me back on. But they are playing a better brand of baseball, and that makes me happy. But too many times we've seen this baseball team play very good at home, and then once they go on the road, they completely forget how to play consistently good, solid baseball. So it's all fine and dandy for them to play like this at home like they always do. I'm waiting for them to be able to do it now and also grow on it later on the road. It's one thing to be like this versus the Mariners, but how are you going to play when you face the Mets? How are you going to play when you face the Braves, even though they're not all that great? How are you going to play when you play these actually, meaningful games? And don't get me wrong, the Mariners are a good team. This is meaningful baseball. Let's not get it twisted. But how are you going to play? Can you play this same way? Is your offense going to give you the best that they got? Can you rely on another Ranger Suarez gem like last night? Or are you going to be able to do it? I don't know. And that's the reason why I consistently sit here every night and say, this baseball team is not turning me back on. They're not making me excited. This is still a scary team. You saw it firsthand tonight. No matter if you brought in Duran or not, no matter if you're bringing Alvarado back in or not, whether you got David Robertson or not, and whether your offense is lights out, that bullpen is still shaky. No matter, look, you could have, the best game ever from Christopher Sanchez. The offense gives you 10 runs, and we'll still see a bullpen collapse. Because that's just what we're subjected to as Phillies fans. It's just exactly what we are subjected to as Phillies fans. But yeah, I touched on Ranger. I touched on that situation with, with Rob and Kirkring and Sanchez. I touched on that. And another one. This is the last one. Is JT? Yo, JT. Yo, I hope you guys aren't forgetting what JT Realmuto is bringing to this baseball team right now. I really don't hope you guys forget because, look, he has been a very good 4-hole hitter behind Harper. You weren't getting the best production out of Castellanos there, not the best production out of Bohm there. JT in that situation, in that spot, coming up big, being one of the best hitters in the month of August, batting .364 in the 8th inning or later. He's been lights out. He's been great for this baseball team. Because here's the thing. This baseball team hasn't had a legitimate 4-hole hitter like ever. I mean, Nick Castellanos is not a legitimate 4-hole hitter, and Alec Bohm definitely isn't a 4-hole hitter. But if you could utilize JT, and if JT's going to be that guy, not that I expect JT to be, a 4-hole hitter, but if he's able to come in that situation and be your 4-hole hitter, I'm all in favor of doing that. I'm all in favor of that. JT has been great. He's filling in that 4-hole spot. Nice. It's very good to see. I'm very, very, very excited. Let's just not forget, man. No matter what JT does, no matter what Christopher Sanchez does, this team is going to fall right back into their ways. Remember, I mean, this baseball team does this all the time. This baseball team does this all the time. They just, it's same thing over and over and over and over again. Same thing over and over and over again. Yeah. But, thank you guys all for tuning into the Broad Street Sports Phillies postgame show. Remember, tonight's show is proudly sponsored by Perfect Scoop in South Philly, the best ice cream shop in all of Philly, not just South Philly, but all of Philly. Sundays, milkshakes, acai bowls, they got it all. Minutes from the stadium. It's still summertime. It's still hot out. You guys want a legitimate ice cream? You guys want good, homemade, great ice cream? Head on over to Perfect Scoop in South Philly, 2020 Penrose Avenue. Minute walk from Chicky and Pete's, couple-minute walk from the stadiums, right there. You don't want to spend that $20 in the stadium for ice cream? Nobody does. Head on over to Perfect Scoop in South Philly. But thank you all for tuning in to the Broad Street Sports Phillies postgame show. Make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe. It really means a lot to me. It really helps out with the algorithm. So make sure you guys subscribe, hit the like button, send us to people you know, leave a comment. But thank you all for tuning in to the show. I really love and appreciate every single one of you. I will see you all tomorrow night.